In the early 1920s, the number of orphan children in Detroit was increasing. Many faith-based organizations, alarmed by this, decided to do something to help. Dr. Henry C. Gleiss of the Detroit Baptist Union brought area Baptist churches together and in 1924 founded the Detroit Baptist Children's Home in Royal Oak. Dora Ballard served as the first director, and there was also a matron of the home who created a home-like environment for the children. The home provided for the health and well-being of children who were abandoned or who had been placed into care when their families couldn't provide for them, or removed from abusive and neglectful situations. Their goal was to reunite children with their parents, but they also provided foster care placement and adoption services. In the early 30s, a new home was built to accommodate 30 children. The home was comfortable and provided each child with an individual bed, wholesome food, and a well-equipped playground, which all contributed to the physical, intellectual, and social growth of the children. The children celebrated holidays, they enjoyed story time, and they were schooled. The children's home received increased help from the local community, and Baptist churches provided ongoing financial support. In the 1940s, members of the First Baptist Church of Birmingham began stocking the food pantry every fall. This group became known as the Applesauce Gang.
The Applesauce Gang evolved from World War II and during World War II, when several orchards that were north of Birmingham, going out Adams Road, were having large apple crops, but because of the war effort, couldn't find people to pick the apples and harvest their crop. So they offered their crops to the church, and the men and boys of the church would go pick the apples in the fall, and it became that the church kitchen was an applesauce canning factory for about a week.
Throughout the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, child and family welfare agencies determined it would be better for children to be placed in foster homes instead of orphanages. The agency continued to provide foster care and adoption services. If a foster home was not available, children were still cared for at the children's home. The 1970s marked the closing of state institutions for the developmentally disabled, which prompted Detroit Baptist Children's Home to step up and offer the care this population rightfully deserved. In addition, new specialized foster care programs and intensive residential treatment services were introduced.
In 1974, the trends the state would like to reduce the state institutions from developmentally disabled children and adults, and came with the idea to develop group homes for 6 to put them in the communities. I created 7 homes for neighborhoods around Judson Center campus.
In 1984, Kurt Tech, a board member, suggested the organization change its name because with the addition of programs, the agency had become much more than just a home for children. The name Judson Center was chosen to honor Adoniram Judson, a widely respected missionary whose life was dedicated to responding to the needs of children, a fitting and bold decision as new programs were introduced. The name change came in time for unprecedented growth. In 1985, Judson Center opened Lahser Respite Home to provide expert care for children who are medically fragile or have developmental disabilities. This remains the only respite home for children in Oakland County.
There was a group of parents that came to Judson Center asking if they could provide a service so that they could get short-term relief services and to take care of their children with special needs.
Lahser Respite Home has been an absolute incredible resource for us. It allows our daughter Lizzie to spend a night in a place that we feel is warm and caring and comfortable. And it gives my husband and I an opportunity to reconnect. It has been an absolute godsend for us. When we pull in the driveway to Lahser Respite here, Lizzie obviously recognizes it now, and she is absolutely thrilled. You like going to Lahser Respite?
No.
Yeah.
In 1986, Judson began offering supported employment services when they recognized that people for whom they were providing care had abilities, and with the proper support and training, they could be further engaged in the community through employment. The 1990s brought a spotlight to mental health, anxiety, depression, and the gross neglect of children with emotional disorders. In response, Judson Center launched its behavioral health services, delivering life-changing therapies to children and adults. In 2005, the need for autism services was prevalent. Judson Center was one of the first agencies to recognize the need for structured autism therapy.
I'm most proud of the autism program. Henry Mistley gave me a lot of support and guidance. He was a big proponent of us moving into the area of serving children on the autism spectrum and supporting their families.
Judson Center started out caring for children. When they saw that there was an autistic problem on the horizon, they stepped up to the plate to try and help those children, and it has grown progressively ever since.
We took him in, he was 18 months old. We didn't really expect to get a diagnosis of your son is severely autistic and nonverbal, and he may never speak. And one of the things that I would say, having looked at so many options for our family, is that when you walk into Judson, it feels like a very inviting, welcoming place for children. What did you learn at Judson? How to be a
good role model.
In 2015, Child Safe Michigan became an affiliate, allowing Judson Center to expand foster care and adoption and provide a mentoring program for foster youth. Today, Judson Center provides programs for foster care and adoption, autism, vocational services, behavioral health, and most recently opened the Family Health Clinic.
When I think about some of the successes that we've achieved at Judson Center, this year we have opened an autism clinic in Macomb County. In addition to that, we're in the process of opening up an autism clinic in Farmington Hills, a new location that we've just moved in August to that facility. But also when I think about, where we are as far as the foster care and the adoption system in the state of Michigan, there are still so many children out there that's a part of that system. There are 13,200 children in Michigan that are just waiting for a home. And that's all they want. They want to feel loved. They want stability in their life. And they just want to know that somebody cares about them and loves them. Thank you for taking this journey with us. And we look forward to your continued support over the next 95 years. Thank you.